look, that clock right there, yeah, it's all about the clock so far the first 2 months of the season. So we're going to talk about stolen bases and how pitchers may have learned to defend it and what runners are doing to work with it. You go to the mound.
Yeah.
Be at you in a second. I'll be the base runner at first base. All right, I want you to have the advantage point of what I see when I'm on first base. So I got the pitcher, and a lot of times the clock is sitting in that vantage point in stadiums. So you see guys wait till that clock gets all the way down to 1, and they're doing this hop, and then they go, or 2 or 3 or whatever it might be. Not the traditional, I'm going to get a big lead, get my read, explode, and go. So they've been working with the clock. So let's take, for example, it's at 10 right now. 9, I've already assumed he's already thrown over. 8, 7, 6. I'm looking at him, I'm looking at the clock. Now I know he's got to go. And I've got that huge jump. That's what guys have been doing. So, Dempster, I'm curious, from your vantage point as a pitcher, you know this is going on. How do you stop it?
Yeah, I think, first of all, it's scouting. Who are the teams that are doing this and taking advantage of this? I noticed a lot of the kind of jump leads.
Yes.
Where people are getting that extra little bit of momentum. And I think the biggest thing you can do is, so you use the clock to be able to control that. What I mean by that is if that clock's running, and instead of picking over at 2 seconds, anticipating, maybe I pick over one time at 8 seconds, and then I pick over at 3 seconds. You know, and also, if I know that they're doing this and they're trying to time it, I'm going to have to save my quote-unquote A move for when I pick over at that 2 to 1 second mark, as long as I still have that left. You know, I talked to Joe Kelly about this. He said, listen, when I got runners on base, and I'm not a big guy for holding bases, like I'm just struggle with it, I've already picked over twice. I'm going to pick over that third time, even if I can't get him, because odds are he's going to be able to steal second base anyways.
Yeah.
So I'm going to, and he said, I'm going to use the clock and as some sort of timing mechanism. So I think just that's a new game that's being played between the person stealing the base.
Yeah,
and
I think what's interesting too, I've thought about why not just take a penalty? Like if he's jumping out here like this, I'll just hold, and maybe the clock does break down. Or maybe he doesn't go, but I now step off, and I've got maybe a rundown. I got to play. We'll see what happens, make them forced to have to use that.
I think, too, you know, like for pitchers, if I'm here and I'm set and I see that clock running, going down, and I know it's that moment where, you know, I'm maybe in a 0-2, 1-2 count and somebody's getting antsy, you're right. I can either let it go down or at the last second disengage from it.
Yes.
Almost on a timing way, like maybe you try to mess with them with your head. You come set and you go, you know, you're doing this and you go like this, and then you calmly step off. Don't be in a panic, because the last thing you want to do is balk and give them the free, you know, the free base at second. So there's just so many different ways that pitchers can kind of navigate through the clock. You know, remember there used to always be this thing where the pitchers at second, when a runner is at second base, what do we do is we would do this a lot, right? And we'd be like, one look. And then sometimes we'd come set and we'd no-look the runner. And then sometimes we'd come set and we'd look and then go back and then look again. We use different looks.
Right.
Whereas first base was always standard, come set, you know, your holds, and then you throw over it. It's almost like you have to maybe have different looks.
Yeah, vary the looks,
you know,
vary the
don't get in patterns.
No doubt about it. All right, Adnan, the popcorn's getting to me over here. I had a lot coming on with this way. But no, this is good. These are the things that, as we continue to go through the season, that you learn, you grow, you evolve, you learn.